My name is James Williams Jr., and this is Kung Fu Habit number 2. I want to post this video. I want to make this video because I'm uploading a video now that I made last night, which was about depression and bouts with depression. So this video is probably not going to be for children, but more importantly, it's kind of one of the getting to know you sections. Alright, so that's basically what this is. This is a getting to know me. Alright, so I'm not the smartest man in the bunch. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed or the sharpest knife in the cabinet or whatever you want to call it. I do alright. I'm pretty good with common sense. I'm a common sense genius if you want the truth. There's no crime in being an idiot. Alright? So, as I was doing my final exam paper, I did a thing on stereotypes. And I want to talk to you guys about my life in high school and some of the stereotypes. What the fuck is that? Sorry, there's a really big truck in the park. Like, really super big. Like a flatbed. So I guess they're carrying equipment into the park to work on the other side. Well, hell, you just turned that big bitch around. So basically, it's a big trailer attached to a dually. Okay. So got that out the way. So I'm writing the report and I started having flashbacks. Okay? And so I brought this up because I thought it'd be important for people to understand why people are the way they are. Okay? So sit back and brace yourself for a long, dragged out conversation about things that led up to me being the way I am. Okay. So as a person of mixed ethnicity, as I tell you all the time, I don't have the right to be a racist, but I have been the victim of a lot of racial shit, including stereotypes. So we're going to start with the stereotypes because it's kind of funny, it's kind of not funny. It's funny because the way it made me feel, as a grown man, I feel like it's not really ridiculous, but when I was 16, it was painful and annoying. So when I worked at Kegler's, the local bowling alley around here, something else now, but still called Kegler's, but something in front of it. I was in high school and I had it both ways. I had it coming and going. I had to come and deal with my boss, who was like my sister's baby daddy. He made my life a living hell, and not like consciously giving a shit. And then freaking I had a customer, which is what brings me to this. I had this one customer. I have no idea who he was. Nice guy. Yeah, he wasn't a racist or anything. But he made derogative, racist statements. Like I said, being mixed, I don't have the right to be a racist. But being called chief every day for 3 years was the equivalent of someone calling a full-blooded black person a nigger every day. All day, even though my name tag's right here. Now, before you guys saying, no, he was not being racist, a movie came out called Renegades with Kiefer Sutherland and Lou Diamond Phillips. Alright? So, that being said, in the movie, the word chief kept pissing Lou Diamond Phillips off, and I guess it gave him an adrenaline rush or whatever. He got like super crazy and started fucking people up. So, initially, it started pissing me off. He kept calling me chief. Now, I respect my Native American heritage because I have more of a Native American face than a black face. So, I would be that damn whatever they're doing in the park is that background banging noise that you're hearing. If you're hearing it, if you're not hearing it, yay. Anyway, fucking oh dear, I fell for that. Anyway, if you're here, you're just tuning in. So, I respect my Native American heritage. I feel more Native American than black or white. And so, it was like a big fucking deal for this dude to keep calling me chief every day. And every time he spoke to me, he did name tags on, and all he knew was the word chief. Now, when the Renegades movie came out, it happened to come out like a year or so before. But apparently it was this dude's favorite movie because he called everybody chief. It wasn't just directed at me. And up until I found that out, I was kind of pissed because for 3 years, hey chief, how's it going, chief? What's up, chief? Any greeting that he could possibly find, not how you doing or what's going on, dude. It was, hey chief, what's up, chief? How's it going, chief? And then he would play the 3 country music songs back then that I only liked one, but I couldn't stand the other ones. I couldn't stand I Got Friends, and I couldn't stand it was another Billy Ray Cyrus song, but I don't know what the hell it was at this moment. And the only one I could stand was Garth Brooks' "The Thunder Rolls." So he would play these songs back to back to back to back to back, and whoever you are and wherever you are, hey man, it's all good. No need for any like stupidity or retaliation. But stereotypes affect people. All right. So now we're getting up to modern time. Stereotypes affects people on probably the smallest levels. And if you haven't been a victim of racism or stereotyping, then you have no idea what it's like to have people think that your ancestors only wore feathers and chains, or your ancestors ate cats and dogs, and we don't know what the story is behind it, but that's what we're sticking to. For that, that would be most people who are of Asian ethnicity, including Native Americans, because there were certain tribes that people believe ate dogs. Alright? Here's the thing about being hungry. If you're hungry enough, you'll probably eat your damn dog. Which is probably why they called them man's best friend back then, too. Anyway, so the stereotyping. I have fell into so many different stereotypical groups. I have been called the wetback. I have been called the gook. I have been called half-breed more than most of my life. And I made this video to point this out because your situation changes you from who you want to be into who you become. I was never, ever a person who would be intentionally evil to people. I was raised to fight. I've been fighting on the streets since I was 6 years old. And it's in my blood. I have been bullied all through school. Grade school, middle school, high school. The bullying never changed, and it never really stopped until I took my nunchucks to school. But in the end, I was the one that got into a tiny bit of trouble for that because I brought weapons to school. But the fact that the bullies could do what they want and the teachers just let that shit happen, who knew, right? Yeah, I'm going to take these nunchucks to school and I'm going to fuck these guys up because it's 7-on-1. I just evened the odds a little bit by putting in foreign weapons. However, that worked out more in my favor than their favor, and it never really bothered me no more after that because I have reached fuck it. Except for like in the 12th grade when I got a new set of bullies who were freshmen who were bigger than me and just thought they were the shit. However, I turned the ties on them, and thank you, Gordy Hay, for not letting me kill the stringy-haired Flash Gordon-looking motherfucker. He doesn't deserve to have his name broadcast. But heroes like Gordy Hay do. Anyway, I've been out of high school for quite some time. And stereotypes have been a more or less big-time part of my life. And when I say that, it's not because I'm being a dickhead full of douche tips or whatever the hell my saying is. But it's because stereotypes tend to mold us into becoming things that we didn't want to become. Stereotypes tend to keep us from reaching our potential. And we should probably check ourselves at the door when we fall into these categories. But the people who are stereotyping you also don't know your situation. And your situation will vary from year to year. You will have many of good years, or in my case, your entire life will just be one bad fucking year with brief intermissions of greatness in between. And it will shape your personality and how you become. Okay? Now, on the other hand, the video I made about depression. Alright, so you guys should check that out because I don't want to get too deep into it. But I made it last night because of a conversation I was having with a young lady on Facebook Messenger. And the thing is, again, if you haven't walked a mile, fuck that. If you haven't take 5 steps, because a mile is way too long. A mile in someone else's shoes will probably kill you. A mile in my shoes will definitely kill you. If you haven't faced the situation that the person's in, or a similar situation that the person's in, you will never, ever know the pain and the suffering that that person has had. Ever. You may think you know, but you don't, because if you haven't been in a situation, then you can't pass judgment and you can't just tell somebody to move the fuck on. Because, just because you can move on doesn't mean they can move on. So I'm going to break this down. I have more or less been rejected by everybody I've known that isn't dead now. Okay? Now, let me explain. I have been raised in a family where I may have a loving mother, but I seem to be the child that she loves the least. Alright? I can't say that she loved me because she's done more for everyone else than she's done for me, and I've done more for her than she's done for me. You understand? The situation is a little bit more complex than sit there and try to explain it in one video. And then other family members hasn't treated me 1,000% great either. And on my father's side, they seem to be the only ones that actually gave a fuck that I'm breathing. So I don't have maybe 1 or 2 cousins there. They can't stand me. But absence makes the heart grow fonder. So that's probably 30% of why I'm in good standings with them. Because they fucking never see me and they never really have to deal with my ass. And these things happen also. Now, when you are in a situation that me and the young lady was talking about, it's different. So I was telling her about my past, and I'm only going to give you guys a cliff notes because everybody here in Charlottesville who knows me knows exactly who I'm talking about and what the hell happened with 2 love songs and 2 text messages and relationships are overrated and you can't come see me anymore. Although, from my perspective, because how do you fall out of love overnight when the relationship is going great, when you have 3 rings over there in a box ready to give to this woman, and you're about to get on your knees, and all of a sudden it's like a slap in the face, a kick in the nuts, and an elbow to the nostrils to try to end your life with what the fuck happened. So 8 years ago, my life was going great. And then it stopped. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. My film project was stolen, so that's why a lot of you don't know who the fuck I am. Because I didn't get to put my Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Earth video out. Because I was making this movie called Guardians of the Earth. There was a continuation of the Path of Ascension. All I needed was special effects. I lent my movie to my special effects guy. He lost his job. And things just went into a downward spiral from there. And it just kept going. I mean, it never stopped going. So, that being said was a problem. And then freaking, somewhere in between there, the relationship crumbled to dust for no reason. If you're not cheating on someone, and they're not cheating on you, and everything is going good, you've both been talking about marriage for the first year and a half of the relationship, so you about to make some moves, and then all of a sudden, you're not. So she kept telling me, yo, you need to move on. Yo, you need to move on. Yo, you need to move on. Well, for some people, specifically me, and it could be my astronomical sign, or it could be my Chinese zodiac as well, some people don't fall out of love overnight. Now, people like that, or people like me rather, I have never had people who really gave a fuck about me outside of my father, my stepmother, my surrogate father, a few select cousins, and 2 really good best friends. 3, maybe 4, maybe 7 in all, and that I can really call on for no reason at all. And though I've grown apart from 2 of them, and it's not our fault, it's just that life has taken us in different directions and they don't make time for me. I don't hold that against them because I don't know what they're doing. I do know that one, I talk to his grandmother every time I go back to Smithville when she's home, and his sister and his mother, but he has not made effort one to contact me or make contact with me LR, you know who you are. It's all good here. I know you have a daughter or a child of some sort and a wife. So I don't expect you to be like, hey, let me reach out to my friend from Smithville, James Williams Jr., and reach out to him about all the times we played regular people with G.I. Joes and shit. Okay, I get it. You don't have time. You can't make time. I got it. I'm not bad about it or anything, but every time I talk to your sister, D, and your mother, Mrs. R, you know, I ask about you all the time. They tell me you're doing okay. I gotta leave it at that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I gotta leave it at that. They don't gain anything by lying to me, so, you know, I gotta leave it at that. But then I got another friend, DH, who lives close by. We've asked about each other, but we haven't had the time to connect. Alright, and I'm only giving you guys the abbreviation because, you know, I don't want to put my friends out there on blast. Because A Dog and B Dog and R Dog, they're all within the facility of I can reach them. No, they're also on my suicide prevention plan. You know, guys that I need to call when I hit a bout of depression. I probably should have called them last night because the conversation with the young lady on Facebook really threw me into a fucking loop. But also stress from school and life in general was just there. So like I said, if you haven't walked into a person's life or shoes, you can't just pass judgment and keep insisting that they move on. Because some people, even though they move on, this doesn't. And I'm one of those people. I have had issues with this because, you know, the person in whom I speak pretty much made it illegal for me to make any contact with her whatsoever. No, she went out of her way to make sure that she never has to answer for this. And that's fine, you know, because I don't know how she sleeps at night, but I hope that she's happy. I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that she's happy. I hope whoever she's with treats her well. And I hope she doesn't do that person like she did me. Alright? Because forgiving is easy. Forgetting is not. No. Moving on. When you go through so much shit all of your life, you are not the person you set out to be when you're 12 years old. Alright? This will be continued because this is almost the 20-minute mark.